What's the single biggest frustration with using a phone outdoors? For most people, it's the glare. You step outside on a sunny day, glance at your screen, and suddenly you're squinting, tilting, and shielding it with your hand. Apple just decided that enough is enough, and the iPhone 17 might have cracked the code. The headline feature here isn't a new camera trick or a fancy battery claim. It's the screen. Apple has given even the cheapest iPhone 17 model a brighter, anti-reflective display that could completely change the outdoor experience. And here's the kicker. Samsung's Galaxy S25, the phone that's supposed to be the iPhone's biggest rival, doesn't have this across the board. So why does this matter? Because brightness on paper isn't the whole story. Let's talk about nits. That's the unit used to measure display brightness, basically how much light a screen gives off per square meter. One nit equals the light of a single candle spread across 1 square meter. Simple enough. The higher the nit count, the brighter the screen. But here's the catch. Brands love to exaggerate. The massive nit numbers you see in ads usually apply only in short bursts, when watching HDR content or in very specific scenarios. In everyday use, scrolling through messages or browsing outdoors, the real brightness is often lower. That's why Apple's move is so interesting. Instead of just bumping up the number, they've combined higher brightness with a new anti-reflective coating. The iPhone 17 promises up to 3,000 nits of peak brightness, higher than the Galaxy S25's 2,600 nits. But the real star here is the coating that cuts down glare and reflections. Think about it. What good is a super bright display if sunlight still bounces off it like a mirror? The new coating, along with Ceramic Shield 2, is designed to do three things: make reflections less distracting, reduce the chances of glare, and deliver triple the scratch resistance compared to before. That's a meaningful upgrade, not just marketing. Apple is claiming outdoor contrast is literally twice as good as before, and if that holds up in real-world use, it's going to be a game changer. Samsung fans will point out that the S25 Ultra does have an advanced anti-reflective screen. That's true, but the key here is that Apple has made this feature standard across the iPhone 17 lineup. The baseline iPhone, the new iPhone Air, and the Pro models all get the same 3,000 nit panel and the new coating. Meanwhile, Samsung keeps its best display tech locked behind its Ultra tier. Beyond the glare solution, Apple has rounded out the display upgrades with a few long-awaited tweaks. The regular iPhone 17 grows from 6.1 to 6.3 inches with thinner bezels. ProMotion finally comes to all models, giving every iPhone 17 a 120Hz refresh rate, something Android phones have offered for years. Always on display is here too, and to save battery, the refresh rate can drop all the way down to 1 Hz when idle. Even the thinnest model, the iPhone Air, doesn't miss out. It gets the same 6.5-inch Super Retina XDR display, the same 3,000 nit brightness, and the same double contrast performance. Apple has also boosted durability with Ceramic Shield 2 protecting both the front and the back for 4 times better crack resistance. The Pro models, of course, stick with their larger 6.3 and 6.9-inch displays, but they share all the same improvements. So for once, you don't need to buy the top-end model to get Apple's best screen tech. That's a pretty big shift in strategy. Now, what does all this mean in practice? It means you might finally be able to read your phone at the beach without frustration. It means photographers can actually frame shots outdoors without guessing. And it means Apple is no longer just matching Samsung's numbers, it's potentially leapfrogging them in real usability. On paper, 400 extra nits may not sound like a lot, but combine that with reduced glare, and it's the difference between straining your eyes and actually seeing clearly. If we step back, there's also a bigger implication. Smartphone design has reached a point where performance leaps are less dramatic year to year. Cameras are already excellent, chips are already fast. Displays, though, that's still a pain point. Apple focusing on real-world visibility, not just specs, shows where the industry might be heading next. Less emphasis on gimmicks, more on solving problems people actually feel every day. Of course, we'll need to see how this coating performs in the wild. Lab claims don't always translate perfectly to daily use. But if Apple delivers on what it's promising, the iPhone 17 could mark the start of a new display standard, one that forces rivals to rethink how they approach screen visibility. At the end of the day, what Apple is really selling here isn't just brighter, it's usable. And that might be the most underrated upgrade we've seen in years. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. See you in the next video. Take care.